What is up, guys? Welcome to Cinco Symposium. All right, we're going to go over some news with wokeness in sports, the NHL, and how they're about to get rid of the Pride Night, as well as a powerlifting coach decides just to identify as a female so he can break the record of as in a joke way of taking the record from a trans, what someone actually thinks they're the opposite sex. So this coach was doing it just as a kind of a joke or an insult to them. But we're going to get into that. Before we do, please hit that like button, share the video, subscribe. Also, if you like wearing political shirts like I do, please check out my store. You can get a shirt like this one saying trust the government, because we all know, as this Native American on my shirt knows, you can always trust the government. They're so good and they never do anything wrong, right? Yeah, check out my store. I'll put the link in the description below. Let's get into this. Okay, so if you weren't tracking, there was a story some months ago with this gentleman. I can't remember his name. Kind of Russian dude, but he was one player that was refusing to. They were having Pride nights where everyone wore a Pride jersey that's all rainbowed out, and they were supposed to go do warm-ups in the Pride shirts or the jerseys. And this one guy said, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it. No thanks. I'm just not gonna take part in it." And it came out at first, and the people in the news and the people were very upset, insanely upset that this individual would not wear the jersey of Pride. So it's gone beyond the fact of you just got to be tolerant and you got to be accepting. No, we're gonna force you to wear a shirt that goes against what you believe in. We're gonna force you to express our wants and our ideology and everything that we think is right. You must adhere to what we believe in. That's where it's at. That's where it's we've kind of lost a lot of ground as far as that goes, because it's honestly kind of as good of a story as it was of this guy standing up. It's sad that only one guy stood up at the time, and it's like the whole team should have been together. No, we're not gonna, we're here to play hockey. We don't want to be involved in this. Get the politics out of this. Just let us go play hockey. But so that gentleman's jersey just immediately started selling out, and apparently every player since then that's kind of came out against this, their jerseys have been selling out, and there's been massive push for these individuals and the fact that they're standing up and they're fighting back against the system. And so in response to an increasing number of players engaging in silent protests against the NHL's Pride Nights, a new report claims the league is reevaluating the events, which may lead to them to being canceled. So we've gotten so far where there's literally Pride Nights on a weekly basis of NHL. That's how much ground we lost. So it's good to celebrate wins, but man, we need to understand how much we've lost in the culture ground, and how much we have to just take back. Currently, all the teams in the NHL hold Pride Nights. However, some now do so without the themed jerseys, as the events are planned by the individual teams, not the league. League Commissioner Gary Bettman said in an interview with CTV News when asked about the players that refused to wear a Pride-themed jersey this season, "This is the first time we've experienced that, and I think it's something that we're going to have to evaluate in the offseason." Citing religious beliefs, several players have declined to participate in pre-game warm-ups while wearing Pride-themed jerseys. Good. Bettman told the outlet, "This is one issue where players, for a variety of reasons, may not feel comfortable wearing the uniform as a form of endorsement." Right. Why are we forcing people to support a sexualized ideology and what people do in the bedroom? Why is that even an important thing? Why is that in sports? The commissioner continued, "But I think that's become more of a distraction now, indeed, because of substance of what our teams and we have been doing and stand for is really being pushed to the side for what is a handful of players basically have made personal decisions, and you have to respect that as well." So good. We've won some ground. I mean, I'm not an NHL guy, so I really don't care as far as most. It's just we're just losing ground constantly in sports and in the culture war. People got to start standing up for what they believe in, and everyone's scared to do it because the comfortability that they have, their lifestyle, that they're afraid to lose their job, what's more important? What's more important? Having these values carry on through our kids and in the culture that they're gonna have, or some comfortability that they get, they get to be taken out to eat every single night. What's more important? I have these conversations with friends all the time of, well, we do these things getting the jab. You had to get the jab because you didn't want to lose your jobs. Screw it. You're giving up your freedom, your values, your freedom of medical choice. You're giving that up for some comfortability in a job. You tell me you can't go work anywhere else. You maybe make less money, but that's what's important is the money. I don't know. We've become a culture of cowards as far as it goes. So it's good just seeing some courage coming from some people that are willing to stand up. Because if one person stands up, it makes it so much more easier for the next person to stand up, and then the next person to stand up, and then soon you got the whole group of people doing it that were just all afraid of being canceled. But so good on these hockey players. I hope they continue to do it. I hope we gain more ground as far as that goes. Now on to this funny story. So this is tweeted out by Icons Women. Team Canada powerlifting coach Avi Silverberg just broke the Alberta women's bench press record in the 84-plus kilogram category, the Heroes Classic. Former record holder, trans-identifying male Ann Andres had a front row view as Silverberg mocked the discriminatory CPU policy by also unofficially breaking the women's world record in the event. So this guy really doesn't identify, but went in and identified just so he could break the record from the current trans record holder, because the trans record holder came in and obviously kicked the hell out of all the women's ability, because guess what, men and women are different, and the physiology of men and women are insanely different, and men have more muscle mass, especially upper body muscle mass, and so he just steps in and breaks that record so that trans person can't have it anymore. So this is this is kind of where it's at. Zuby did this in the UK. He broke the deadlift record. It's like a year or two ago. He just did it casually and goes, I identify as a female, and then did it and broke. It's like, all right, that breaks the female record. But so
and says something controversial.
This is the trans-identifying individual who had the record before that powerlifting coach just took it from him.
Why is women's bench so bad? I mean, not compared to me. We all know that I'm a tranny freak, so that doesn't count.
But so it's people like this. It's these guys that have some screws loose up here, and they're never number one with the guys. They can't even get maybe the top 10 or maybe the top 50, whatever it is. And they go, what I could do though? Like I could change into a woman. I could identify as a woman, and then I could take that title. And that's what so many have done. We've seen it in cycling competitions, wrestling, running, swimming, powerlifting. We've seen it almost across the board. Rugby, of these dudes that are huge and massive compared to the women playing, like the best women that are doing these sports and sporting events, and they come in and they blow them out of the water, and they take all the records, and they're taking them away from females, or invading women's spaces and taking away the titles of all these accomplishments of all these women that have done it before. And then they're also getting a pat on the back from the media and everyone on the left, and getting voted Women of the Year and all this bullshit that comes with it. So, I mean, it's just become a mockery. It's become a mockery so much where, this should happen more. We're okay, you've ceded the fact the women, especially the feminists in this country, have let these dudes come in and take these spaces. Okay, you allowed guys in. You don't want to call them guys. You say, oh, they're trans. So, but you let that happen. So now every dude that's doesn't really care but has the ability to beat the record, they just need to go in and stomp out all the records and take them all from women and just as soon as you're willing to stand up and actually fight for this and take back the idea of what a real woman is and having them have the record, real men need to just come in and be like, yeah, you opened the door for all of us to come in, and now we're going to destroy and take everything that y'all had. Just do it. Let's just see what happens. I mean, let's shake it up, because this is just disgusting. At least this is funny. This is funny because it's mocking this thing. And this thing is what everyone says is brave and beautiful. So I'm all for bringing in real men that really don't care about it and are just doing it to mock the system that's been set up. To mock the system that said men can be women and that they're a real woman and they can just change and flip on a dime and go and take records. Let's be mocking that system. So I'm all for it. This is great. This is funny. More of this. All right, I think that's it, guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Again, go visit my store, The link's going to be down in the description if you're looking for some political t-shirts or some other apparel. Go check it out, Traditional Extremist Apparel. And until next time, y'all have a wonderful day.